Okay, so obviously from the title of this video, we're going to be looking at a clock radio, but first of all, I wanted to point out that I actually rewatched part of the video that got cut off on that VHS-C tape. When I was trying to import it into the computer, I guess I bumped the power cable and cut power to the camera, which probably would have been this camera too. But either way, I figure I might as well go over it. It's not going to be comprehensive, or as comprehensive as it would have been. I'm going to add a couple things to it as well, because I've bought some things since then as well that I haven't showed yet. I don't know if I ever showed these high-fidelity tapes off. I think I did in the IBM ThinkPad R40 video, but if I didn't, there they are. I've had those for probably the longest out of anything you'll see here. I had mentioned these 60-minute high-fidelity Sony tapes, but then I added to it later on with a bunch of TDK D90s. There are two different sets of D90s here. I can only guess that the only difference is that one set's older than the other, because they are, for all intents and purposes, from what I can tell, basically exactly the same. This one makes mention of a slimline eco case, where this one does not, but I don't think there's much of a difference between the cases. But I'd have to unwrap one of them in order to tell, and eventually that will probably end up happening, but not right now. In terms of other cassette tapes, you saw this, the Super Tracks. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but it turns out that Rumors by the Social Club, I think that's supposed to be Timex Social Club, is either a different version than I'm used to hearing, or it's a re-recording. I'd imagine it might even be littered with re-recordings, but at the very least, Word Up is original, and The Future's So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades is original, and those were the two that I really wanted on the tape anyways. Though it would have been nice to have Rumors, but whatever. Can't have everything. Somebody had told me, I think it was Wilkes85, that Polytel Records was junk, and I don't know if I would believe that just based on this one tape, but no doubt there are other tapes similar to this that are in fact junk. I'm not sure, you probably would have got a fleeting glance of ABBA, but it's here. This and this, these two, I'm not sure what they are, and they were 2 for 99 cents, so I picked them up. It looked like they were actually not pre-recorded, but that they were recorded cassettes that somebody has just decked out a little bit. I'm not sure. I'll have to give them a listen, and I'll have to see if they are recordable. If not, well, they're probably just going to go somewhere else. I might give them to somebody or sell them on eBay or something, because I don't think the tracks on them are any good. This tape is another junk one, although I can fix it. Turns out the original owner vandalized it, and I did buy one of their other tapes, Weird Al in 3D, I think. Weird Al Yankovic in 3D. And that tape has got no fidelity. Well, it's not no fidelity. It's got no bass to it. This one's got a little bit of a problem with the pressure pad, I think, as you can probably see there. So I'm going to have to fix that. Fortunately, it is repairable. And maybe if I go looking, I'll find another version of this tape. I used to have one. I don't know where it went. Then there was this, which I picked up only because it's got Stereophonic Stuff, or Stereo Disc Particles' favorite song on it. Other tapes I've picked up in that time since then. These three are going to get played this morning. We've got Dead or Alive's Youthquake. I can't remember when I picked that up. That was this week. Got Bobby Sue, which I picked up this week. And Hits of the 70s. What appears to be Hits of the 70s Volume 1, but I could have gotten really burned on this, because it turns out that it's Hits of the 70s Volume 2. Funny enough, Hits of the 70s Volume 2 actually has more tracks on it than I'm interested in than Hits of the 70s Volume 1. So, unintentional score there. I don't know if I showed this, but it's here. And I bought it for all the tracks other than the primary track of interest, because I think that the primary track of interest is a gigantic steaming pile of crap. And I'm not even going to get into the debate on that. It's not up for debate. It's crap. That's it. This is actually kind of cool. I bought it because it was an XL290 tape, but it's got some covers of Elton John, and I believe, who's the other artist on this? Bernie Taupin or something, I don't know. So that might be actually worth importing into the computer and listening to. And then another Polytel thing here that I haven't listened to totally yet, but at least Lessons in Love is the original. This is hit after hit. I think this is another 70s tape. But I don't know. It says today's top tracks on it. Yeah, not anymore, I don't think. CD-wise, we've got This Is It by Michael Jackson. Unfortunately, I'd like to point something out that's very unfortunate about thrift stores. This is a 2-disc set. There's disc number 1, but there is no disc number 2. And I find that often. Either one of the 2 discs is missing, or in some very wonderful cases, both of the discs are missing. I guess people feel the need to steal stuff from thrift stores that they happen to want. Or they take them and use them to test things and don't put them back in the cases, and somebody ends up buying the item with the CD still in it. It actually kind of ticks me off. I have done that before. I've taken CDs from thrift stores and used it to test various pieces of equipment. But come on, people, it's not hard to put the damn thing back in the case, which I do. Fortunately, I didn't get screwed over by that, because anything that I would ever want is on disc 1 anyways. Disc 2 is basically just a bunch of promos. I'm not sure why they included it. But maybe this was a promotional version of This Is It. I don't know. People who have watched UXW Bill videos for a while will recognize this. Clint Black's Put Yourself in My Shoes. I bought it mainly just to expand my music library, and you know what? I wanted to see if that mistake was still in CDDB. I didn't test it with iTunes, but it's not in the implementation of CDDB that Exact Audio Copy uses. And REM's out of time, missing the cover art, but in otherwise good shape. Those were the 3 that I had showed off in that video, and there's more. Bought this today, Inner Circle's Bad to the Bone. That CD is actually in that over there. I'm going to play from that tonight, this morning. The Good Morning Vietnam soundtrack. I thought that was pretty cool. Automatic for the People. Another CD that I probably got screwed over with, but you know what? Whatever. The song I wanted was on CD, it was on disc 1, and I have disc 1, so. This is actually a special CD. Seems to have been given out at a concert. So that's pretty cool. Not sure why somebody would have donated it. Limited commemorative package, Reunion Arena, 1991. Damn, that's old. And it's also broken, in case you couldn't already tell. Okay, so we got that. We got the Proclaimers, Sunshine on Leaf, I think is how you pronounce that. Including I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles, and I'm On My Way. Those are the 2 tracks that I know. I'm sure there are others that are nice. And you choose All That You Can't Leave Behind, including my personal favorite, Elevation. Haven't heard that on the radio in years. But none of that is the subject of today's video. I have never heard of that brand name before. That says Solid State on it. This is no doubt one of those cheap pieces of junk that sold for like $2 at a dollar store or something way back in the day. I like this sleep timer here. It actually, what it does is, I have used it before, what it does is it ticks down like that. I think that's pretty interesting. I did not pay the sticker price. There's the alarm switch. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a buzzer, it's just wake to radio. But I don't care about wake to radio or wake to buzzer if it's something cool like this. And you'll see why it's cool in a minute. Or maybe you already have because I've showed it by accident or something. It's an AM/FM band switch, kind of dirty. There's your tuning switch right there, and the switch for the radio. And apparently it had a little bit of residual power there. That was pretty interesting. Not much else really that's all that interesting. Time set and alarm set, right there, in a knob form. And there's the antenna. Curiously enough, I probably could hook up my own FM antenna to this. I might just do that, if I feel like it. Taking a look at the bottom here. Special Acceptance by CSA. That's kind of interesting. There's a reference number. There was a sticker that fell off from the store. Unfortunately, I think that was probably the date code sticker. So I've got no idea when it was made now. But oh well. So, such is the way that things go. I was sort of in a ticked off mood because of something that happened that I won't describe on video because it'll just make me even more angry. And who knows, maybe the person who did it to me will probably be watching this. I don't know. But anyways, here's your model number. It is upside down. Maybe I can flip the camera upside down and you'll see it. DCU 209, 117 volts, 6.5 watts. There's some information. Let me get a flashlight out here so we can take a look at that. This is not the best flashlight in the world. But there you can see all of that. But hey, you know, with something like a brand name like that, no information about it, and blah blah blah, it's cheap looking, surely it can't be that exciting. Why did you pick it up? Well, let me show you. It's very simple, in fact. I bet you weren't expecting that, now were you? For the longest time I've had this piece of junk here. Actually it's a real piece of junk, but it is pretty cool, and I've kept it around mainly because it does actually work. I still have the box too. With a name like Flip-O-Matic, you know it's gotta be good. But now I've got the real thing. Like I said, I've never heard of the Xonex or Xonex or whatever brand name before, but hey, you know what? I'm willing to give them a pass. Because it really isn't that bad of a quality product. Let's go ahead and turn this here so you can see it. There was something I wanted to show. I don't know if all the numbers have it or just some... I think the 0. Yeah, 0 has got the country of manufacture on it, it looks like. It says Japan. It does distinguish between AM and PM. Of course, there's our alarm knob. That click is for the alarm. That's when it goes off. In case you didn't hear it. There's a seconds display in there. I'm not sure how to read it. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me in the comments. But it's there. And there's our band. Okay, let's get this piece of crap out of the way and plug it in. And it's running. And check this out. It's got a light in there. I believe they call that grain of sand. Right down there, that thing. That light. Amazingly enough, for all the hours that this thing has undoubtedly put forth, that is still good. I'm going to look into retrofitting it with an LED because I think that would be, well, maybe not as cool, but it will certainly last longer. And maybe I'll keep the grain of sand bulb for something else. Let's go ahead and fire up the radio. Got a little bit of a scratchy volume knob. Some interesting noises. Jesus. Was not expecting that.
Électronique. Comme ça se produit fréquemment. C'est la publicité qui a la première récupérée. The good works.
That's a good tune right there. I think that's 99.7, so this is probably a little bit off.
Obligation consultation 613-724-3936.
Yeah, because that's country, so that's probably 101.1. Although, really, I probably wouldn't call that country music, but that's definitely just me. More crap. More crap. And yet more crap. There should be a station up here. I'm not sure. I guess I can't pick it up. Let's try going over to AM. There's just some interference. And there's some music. Not a local station. I think that one's actually from the Durham region, which is in GTA, so.
Me, 30 years.
You're going to own.
It is picking stuff up, but not well enough to decipher it. Okay, so there's our band. And there's our scratchy volume control. Oops. I didn't think I could do that.
Décrit comme virtuel, donc un programme informatique.
Oh, I think it's because this is on. Yeah, there we go. So if we go ahead and set it.
On va détourner les caméras
de
l'ordinateur, certaines touches du clavier, la souris.
So there you have it. There's your Xonex or something flip clock. I was hoping that maybe it would flip for you on video. I know it has flipped. But I guess it's not going to now, is it? Well, there we go. Just as I say it's not going to, it doesn't. Okay, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below.
Ce qui vient plus du linéaire, donc avec un début, une chute, une courbe dramatique.
There you can see it move.
Importante du récit.
Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. I thought this was interesting. When I unplug it, seconds counter keeps going for a little bit. I guess it's probably because it's motorized.